I'm very pleased and honored to join such a distinguished personality who are part of rural reconstruction movement from China, India, and the Philippines. I thank our fellow organizer for coming together and encouraging us to convene this meeting in the sideline of World Social Forum. In fact, there are hardly anything left to talk about rural reconstruction. The one thing missing here, it seems to me that when I visited China, in the birthplace of rural reconstruction, I was told that this idea was conceptualized in Japan before tested in practice in China. So we have our distinguished delegates from Japan also in front of us. So for us, I came to know about rural reconstruction movement when I visited Philippines. That is International Institute of Rural Reconstruction, which was established by Dr. Jameson together with fellow rural reconstruction movement activists from the Philippines. So the way rural reconstruction idea was conceptualized at the time was they were basically focusing on fourfold approach, as Liang mentioned earlier: health, education, livelihood, and self-government. And my friend from Philippines, PRRM president, told us that they have added another element, that is environment, resilience, community. That is perhaps everybody wants to really add climate or environment element in any kind of work that we want to do. But in Nepal, not only in Nepal, in most least developed country in Africa, Asia, and in many places in China, although China is very much industrialized country, as Professor Wayne mentioned to us, the whole idea of rural reconstruction is still very important, and it is, in fact, it is more important than in the past. Yesterday I was talking about the challenges that our rural communities are facing. We have plenty of land, but we don't have people to cultivate them. Hundreds of thousands of Nepali people, particularly those young, energetic, economically active populations, are not in rural area. Many of them are in Kathmandu, and several of them, a large number of them, left this country. They are working in Arab countries, Malaysia, Korea, and all over the world, if you like. Because I'm one of those person who frequently travel all over the world, and I have met Nepali workers in Africa, Pacific, and Latin America as well. What is happening is our main source of income in this country, the revenue, is coming from remittances. We get hard currency, we get money out of our migrant labor's work, but we spend this money to buy food and other consumer products produced by multinational company or big capitalists in Nepal and also abroad. So our hard-earned currency by the migrant workers are being spent to strengthen the economy of capitalists. What I think is, if we want to become a genuinely sovereign country and sovereign people, rural revitalization of rural reconstruction work is very important. We have millions of hectares of the fertile land. We can grow all kinds of fruits, vegetables, and cereals. If we are able to create employment in our own villages, in our own community, then we can not only become self-reliant but also sovereign person. Otherwise, our poor people coming from those remote and rural areas, ultimately serving the interest of neoliberal capitalist and multinational companies. The rural reconstruction idea is not only to ensure health, livelihood, and self-government, but also to ensure our sovereignty, our independence, and give sustainable solution to the development challenges faced by our people. And in order to address these challenges, three rural reconstruction movements, Nepal, China, and the Philippines, we came together and we have created a group called AIPSN, Institute for Social Enterprise in Asia. Liang is one of those leading this process. So we have heard that we have many billionaires. We had COVID pandemic. Many poor people and poor communities suffered from it. But many multinational company and billionaire became, billionaire double their income, triple their income, even in pandemic. This is how capitalism works. This is how neoliberal idea make poor people poorer and rich people richer. Every day we hear that, the number of billionaires are increasing. That when I hear about, we have 200 billionaires in China or India or United States or Europe, that means to me, many people will become happy to hear that, we have so many billionaires in the world. But this will have direct consequence. From where they get this money? This is our money. We pay them. And this is accumulation of capital from poor and marginalized people and concentrated in the hand of billionaires, rich country and billionaire people. So in order to address these challenges, the whole idea of rural reconstruction education, the mass education movement started in China, is still relevant to us. The young people, if you go and talk to young people in school and colleges, if you ask them what you want to be, they will tell you that I want to be billionaire like Bill Gates, Elon Musk. That is the dream of people. I have been repeating this today, third time in this whole social forum. So we need to, when we were young, we wanted to be revolutionary. We wanted to become a change agent. But new generation, the kind of education our young peoples, our brother and sister, our son and daughters are getting is to do with the whole, influenced by the whole idea of neoliberal capitalist. And that is their destination, that is their dream. But we need to, through rural reconstruction intervention, we need to make people how to become self-reliant, self-sufficient, in order to become sovereign citizen and sovereign country. And this is very important for country like ours. As I mentioned earlier, we are one of those least developed countries defined by UN. My friend Moyuddin is there. We are not. He always said that we are not least developed. So I started to say that least developed country defined by UN, not by me or Moyuddin. So we are also one of those landlocked countries. We have so many development challenges that we are facing. Our economic base is very small. Economic smallness, geographical remoteness are development challenges for us. There is no level playing field for us to engage with those rich, big countries. We have heard from India and China. If we are asked to compete with India and China today, and if we are given same kind of facility or environment, we can't compete with China and India. So we need special consideration in order to address the development challenges. That includes the trade deficit that we have been facing, balance of payment issue that we are going through. And this has to do with our economic smallness and geographical remoteness. We cannot export produce that we have produced here in Nepal at the same cost as Chinese or Indian export to Europe or United States. Perhaps the even transportation cost can be double of what Bangladeshi, Indian, and Chinese would spend on transporting, exporting this stuff. So that's why we demand that we are countries in special need, and we are part of the most vulnerable group of countries in the world. So rural solution are the sustainable solution of our livelihood and development. That's why we are advocating for rural reconstruction model, new model. Perhaps Jameson started with a fourfold approach. We might have to really come up with 10-fold approach, perhaps. Because during Jane's time, he thought that health, education, livelihood can solve all the problem. But now, in the changed political context, we have to come up with a new idea. All of us use internet. All of us need iPhone, smartphone, if you like. Who produces this item? Capitalist, billionaire. And and we are addicted to this. And by buying their products, we are supporting, we are promoting capitalism. This helps neoliberals. So if we talk about, I went to a meeting that was about socialism, future of socialism, challenges of socialism in earlier session. How do we get socialism? Our whole development model, development paradigm is surrounded by the idea of promoting capitalism. Every day our activity, if we do any economic activity, certain part of it goes to billionaire, capitalist, rich country. We need to understand that. If we are not able to provide sustainable solution, empower rural community, encourage them to produce what they want to consume, we cannot have a permanent solution of our chronic development challenges. Thank you very much.